Welcome back to my channel. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Hello all of you. This video is a lecture on NDRAJKUMAR's Untitled poem. NDRAJKUMAR is a Tamil writer whose poems are articulate protests against the caste and class oppression that Dalit men and women have been experiencing for ages. The Untitled poem by him is part of the tradition of Dalit literature and expresses severe protest against oppression. It is the voice of a rebellious soul that wants to avenge itself. The pain of subjugation as well as the desire for revenge is not merely individual but becomes representative of the condition of all Dalits. The poem opens with the lines, "Dancing cobra eyes twist into the body, striking at the corner of the soul, asleep, sticking one's tongue out on those full moon nights." Here the poet uses the image of the dancing cobra, an aggressive and venomous snake known to strike, sting, and kill its victim in an instant. The snake represents the anger, restlessness, and agitation in the poet as a Dalit who wants to strike out at the non-Dalit oppressors, thereby causing death and destruction to all that has trampled upon the Dalits for ages. The cobra image is meant to evoke awe and fear in the minds of the oppressors who should now be ready to suffer the ferocity of protest, resistance, and rebellion from the poet. The poet remarks, "Drunk with the saliva sucked from the dripping mouth, my poisonous poetry scattered like fragrant flowers. Frightened to smell them alone, you bring to your aid those soaring bards of prey." The venomous cobra is the angry poet's metaphor, symbolizing his destructive fight against oppression. His poetry is a weapon meant to sting and torture the upper caste oppressors. As the sweet fragrance of flowers spread far and wide, similarly the poison of his poetry will spread among the oppressors and make them suffer in the way the Dalits have suffered under them. It will challenge, poison, and demolish all existing power structures in the society which has created an unjust social system. The overpowering groups in the society will be so frightened by the angry and aggressive rhetoric of the poetry that they will not have the courage to face it alone. They will attempt to increase the strength of their groups by bringing more of their kind for support. The metaphor of the kites, a bird of prey, is employed by the poet to imply the cruel oppressors who have been subjugating and victimizing the Dalits for ages. The poet declares, "Denying Shiva this time, standing on the power of the god of anger, I tease the kites. Ask them, are you well? You fly away, disappear in the distance like a dot." In his attempt to sting the non-Dalit oppressors with the poison of the furious rhetoric of his poetry, Rajkumar refuses to be inspired by Shiva, the Hindu deity of ferocity and destruction. The poet proudly establishes his Dalit identity by breaking away from the traditional Hindu religious identity and by denying the mainstream Hindu cultural and religious icons. The cobra, which can be linked as a pet to the Hindu deity Shiva, is actually delinked here from the god to become an initiator and vehicle of Dalit protest, rebellion, and recreation. Identifying his oppressors as the kites, the poet derives a revengeful satisfaction by challenging and torturing them through his poetry. In the world of nature, kites are known to prey on snakes. But for the poet, the snake is now going to retaliate and threaten the kites to fly away and disappear. The appraisers will fly away in a distance, being frightened by the poet's aggressive protest and his vehement opposition. They will move farther away from the poet out of fear of being destroyed by the poison that his poetry will unleash. The poet observes towards the end, "I cannot touch the shadow of your wing. I will be born again and again as a devil, a ghost, as Kali and Isaki. As the vengeful furies, I will terrorize you and follow you." In the last few lines, Rajkumar asserts that the poison of rebellious opposition that his poetry will unleash will terrorize the appraisers no matter where they flee. However, the poet knows that the fight against oppression and injustice will not come to an end with his death. The humiliating subjugation of the Dalits will continue for ages to come. Therefore, he wishes to be reborn as an incarnation of the devil or ghost or some destructive deity in order to avenge the wrongs done to the Dalits. He desires to be inspired by such dark diabolical forces that will not rest till they avenge themselves upon the perpetrators of social injustice. The reference to the devil, ghost, Kali, Isaki, and the vengeful furies bring out the angry spirit in the poet who wants to take the form of some kind of immensely powerful and even fiercely destructive persona so that he can deal a severe blow to the upper caste oppressors. He vows to strike them with such malicious fury and aggression so as to paralyze them with stupefying fear. Like the awful devil or a ghost, the revengeful religious deities, or like the furies of Greek mythology, the poet intends to pursue and haunt the tormentors of the Dalits forever. In this regard, while alluding to the Hindu goddess of death and destruction, Kali, the poet consciously refers to his own mythical, typical, non-upper caste deity, Isaki, as well. The concept of Isaki represents the type of local folk deity who is not part of the traditional Hindu divinity. The genesis of Isaki, the sinister goddess possessing dark devilish power, is described by Rajkumar in another of his poems in the following way. The dark blue goddess of the cactus field demand blood-filled rice, transmogrifies into the midnight, goddess Isaki. Consisting of 31 short lines of unequal length, the poem makes an apt use of animal metaphors, as in the images of the cobra and the kites, to convey the Dalit-non-Dalit equation from the poet's point of view. Allusions to Hindu divinities like Shiva and Kali, as well as to malevolent powers of nature such as the Greek furies, the devil, the ghost, and also to the non-Hindu folklore goddess Isaki, are in keeping with the fierce and destructive mood that the poem evokes.